Chapter 16. The Celestial Hall. Soon after Maya began construction on the hall, Krishna asked permission to leave. Everyone was distraught at the idea of separation from him. Kunti offered him sweet prayers, and Krishna said goodbye to his sister. And Draupadi started crying and bowed down. The brothers escorted Krishna and Satyaki out of town and bid him farewell. Another couple of days went by, and Maya was ready to construct. He offered a feast to the Brahmins, and then erected thousands of golden pillars to be the base of the fantastic assembly hall. It took him 14 months, but it was well worth it. The hall was incredible. Golden walls and archways inlaid with jewels and gems, studded crystal stairways with coral hand railings, an artificial lake in the middle of the assembly hall, including lotuses and swans with marble slabs around its edge with pearls inlaid. There were gardens full of ever-blossoming trees, and the fragrance was magnificent. Maya ordered powerful Rakshasas to invisibly guard the palace. Yudhisthira consulted with the Brahmins and decided on an auspicious day for entering of the hall. They then had a great feast on the day and gave a feast to all and enjoyed entertainment. Then, precisely at noon, they entered the hall through the eastern side's enormous golden doors. The Pandavas sat at the head of the hall in their jewel-encrusted thrones and were surrounded by rishis and kings, such as Vyasadeva and Maitreya, and many others. Many kings came forward to offer their respects to Yudhisthira. Even Trichasena, the Gandharva leader, showed up with the Asparas and entertained the assembly as they do in the heavenly realm. Those are angels, people. And then Narada Muni showed up with his sage homies and were all properly welcomed and offered seats. And then Narada Muni began to speak to Yudhisthira by asking him questions about moral conduct. Narada Muni's words were captivating the entire audience as he spoke on proper behavior of the righteous. He told Yudhisthira to always be free of the 5 evils which assail men: excessive sleep, fear, anger, weakness of mind, and procrastination. Yudhisthira then asked Narada if there were any halls that equaled his own, and for descriptions of and his answer was descriptions of Indra. And the descriptions of Indra, Yamaraj, who's the god of death, Indra, the god of heaven, and Lord Brahma's hall, who all lived in their own spectacular palaces. Narada spoke on Indra's hall and told its size to be more than 1,000 miles long and nearly as wide. Indra sits there adorned with a golden crown and bracelets, wearing white robes. By his sides sit personified beauty, fame, and glory, along with helping hands like faith, intelligence, and learning. Also, sacrifice, charity, religion, profit, and pleasure. And one earthly king from the past, Harishchandra. Next, Narada described Yamaraj's grand hall, which was only a little smaller and a square. The hall could go wherever it liked, and there was no pain in it. By Yamaraj sat time and death, and they were waited on by great monarchs from the Pandu's line, including Pandu. Narada also described Varuna and Kuvera's halls, which were immensely opulent and beautiful. Then Narada spoke about Brahma's hall, which was even more amazing. It has the ability to constantly change its amazing colorful appearance, and it is ever fresh with splendor. It consistently increases the happiness of residences there, and great personalities live there, such as mind, space, knowledge, sound, touch, form, taste, scent, nature, all the elements, and the prime causes of the universe. After hearing of the halls, Yudhisthira inquired about who is Harishchandra, and how did he get to Indra's hall? Narada told him that it was because he had performed the Rajasuya sacrifice, which was only possible after establishing rule over all other kings in the world, and then offering charity to hundreds of thousands of Brahmins. Narada told Yudhisthira that his father had sent a message for him, and that he needed to perform the Rajasuya sacrifice, and in doing so, he and his sons would all be allowed to enter into Indra's hall. Narada knew this to be the will of the Lord, so he implored Yudhisthira to perform the sacrifice. Yudhisthira, in the coming days, pondered how this can happen. He knew there were kings out there who would not bend the knee to him, including Jarasandha of Magadha, whom had captured the kings around him and was planning to sacrifice them to Vishnu. Yudhisthira thought that only Krishna would be able to help him. He called a meeting of the council and declared his desire to perform the sacrifice and to honor Krishna during it. The counselors agreed that it was a good idea, and they believed he could conquer the sinful kings with the help of Krishna, and so did Yudhisthira.